Demand more. Get Allmax.
Hey guys, welcome back to video number 2. This is Big B Super Heavy, Road to the Junior Nationals. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about supplementation and supplementation timing. Give you a little bit of insight on what I do pre-workout, intra-workout, and post-workout. So much of your recovery and your growth phase will come from what you do around your workout. So the meals you have prior, the supplements you use during, and the nutrition and the supplements you use afterwards. So we're going to really zone in. I'm going to give you some brief insight on what I'm using today. My pre-workout, I use the Muscle Prime Core Factor. It's a moderate stim pre-workout. It's geared for maximum pump. It has 4 grams of essential amino acids, 1 gram of citrulline malate. The good thing about it is it has the electrolytes and antioxidants. So while you're training, you're going to be also replenishing what you've lost when you're sweating. I use a little bit of leucine, taurine, and arginine. I do 10 grams of leucine, 5 grams of arginine, beta-alanine. I do 3.2 grams with that, sometimes a little bit more. I'll sip that for about a half hour before I train, and that pretty much gets me going. My intra workout, I don't have them here. I have the Carb Ion. It's our new 6-blend heavy molecular weight of carbohydrate. They're all complex carbs. There's no fillers in there. It's not going to make you bloated because they are complex carbs. It's not a milled carbohydrate to where it's basically a simple sugar. So once you're taking it in, it's going to get driven into the small intestine right away. You're going to notice a nice clean energy, and you're going to notice some really good pumps because it gets into your system immediately. With that, I do 2 to 3 scoops of the amino core. There's 8 grams of essential amino acids per scoop. They're micronized and they're fortified with a B complex. So you're going to notice more energy, more oxygen uptake, and it's also going to help with nutrient delivery. With that, the 2 combined is going to help with preventing muscle breakdown. When you start to train, you release cortisol. The carbohydrates are known to stop the cortisol from being released, and the amino acids are going to help shield the muscle tissue and help them be repaired before they're actually broken down. My post-workout, I do the Isoflex Chiller. That's been my niche for a little while now. The peach flavor is my favorite. It's a nice change from the peanut butter or the chocolate that I've been doing for so long. The Isoflex is a whey isolate. It's 90% bioavailability. There's no fillers, there's no sodium, no cholesterol, no sugar. It's ideal for anybody, male or female, competition, no competition. And the mixability is so good because it's so pure. You can shake it up just in water in a shaker bottle and there's no clumps. It dissolves perfectly. With that, I do 5 grams of leucine, I'll do 10 grams of creatine, 10 grams of glutamine, and I'll do another 100 grams of our Carb Ion, which is 25 grams per scoop. About an hour after I'm done with my shake, post-workout, I'll have a lean source of protein, typically chicken or fish, mostly chicken, and I'll do a sweet potato or a red potato for a carb, another roughly 75 grams for that. And that's pretty much it, guys. In short, what I do pre, intra, and post-workout. The last video, we hit some buys and tries after our intro. Today, we're going to smash some shoulders. It's going to be hard and heavy, short rest intervals like always. Let's get to it. All right, guys, I'm going to run you through my workout here. First movement, we started off with dumbbell lateral raises. A lot of people tend to use their traps with this one. I, for one, never used to feel them in my shoulders, so it kind of worked with my form a little bit. I keep my arms a little bit straighter. I keep my hands in line with my pockets so they're straight to the side. And I reach out as far as I can to the sides rather than trying to move the weight upward. I feel like when you're trying to move upward with the weight, it's going to start stimulating your traps. So I just reach out as far as I can. And that's really what, for me, hits the medial part of the shoulder the most. So that's my focus on that. Second movement, we did dumbbell presses. Sometimes I'll do Smith machines, sometimes I'll do dumbbells or just a regular, regular selectorized machine. Today did dumbbells, we went 95s. Nothing crazy. I don't lock out at these ever. I pretty much will go all the way down and I'll hit about 3/4 the range up just to keep the tension on there. I hear it puts a lot of strain on my elbows when I go all the way up with it, so I like to maintain the tension on the shoulders. With this one, what I like to do actually is I like to kind of angle the weight inward. So tilting my wrists inward where the bottom of the dumbbell head is at my shoulders. And when I push up with that, it's almost like a shrug and it stimulates the shoulders a lot more than keeping them flat and pushing up like a traditional shoulder press. Sometimes it gets a little bit more difficult to do. It's a lot more pressure on the wrists when you go heavy, but I'll go a little bit lighter sometimes and do it that way. third movement, we did dumbbell rear lateral raises. Did 50s with these. I keep my body at a 90 degree, keep my head up. I do my best to reach outward with it again, just like on lateral raises. I try not to contract my traps by pinching my shoulder blades. So when I reach out to the sides, it's going to stimulate the rear delt more rather than recruiting other muscle groups to pull it up. So as you can see, I'm reaching outward and I bend my elbows slightly at the top just to get a good contraction. Always have good control on the way down to work the negative a little bit, and then a good squeeze at the top. As soon as I start feeling it in my traps, that's usually when I put them down and get a rest and start the next set. Fourth movement, we did barbell front raises. I did 80s with these. I vary my grip. Sometimes I go closer or wider. It just depends. Kind of hits the shoulders a little bit differently each grip that you use. Again, with this one, I don't try to raise the weight upward. I try to raise it outward as far as I can. The farther out I put the weight, the more tension I feel on the shoulders. So again, I try to avoid using my traps at all. Always use good control, especially on the way down. I try not to swing the weight. So everything that I'm doing in this movement is geared toward isolating the front of the shoulder, the anterior head, as much as possible. Last movement, dumbbell shrugs. I use the 140s with these, went kind of heavy. Got a good squeeze at the top. I kept my reps about 10 or 12. With this one, going heavy with these is always good. Traps are a strong muscle, so when I bring them up, I try to get a nice squeeze, control on the way down. As soon as I start throwing the weight or not being able to get my traps all the way up to my ears with a full range, that's usually when I'll put them down. I don't want to compromise my form or start using momentum or anything like that. So I'll keep my rest short with those and just keep breaking them down as I go. If I need to lighten the weight, then I will. I just go by how the muscle's feeling at that point. We just concluded our shoulder workout for video number 2. Stay tuned for video number 3. We're going to go over my basic diet, or my diet exactly for what I'm doing for the Junior Nationals, which will be 10 to 12 weeks out at that point. I'm going to give you a breakdown of my macronutrients, my fats, carb intake, everything. I'm going to go over some macronutrient basics and so I can show you what you should be taking in for your activity level, for your body weight, etc. Lastly, I'm going to go over food prep, how to be a little bit more efficient with your food and your cooking, how to prep, some basics on cooking also, and what to do and what not to do. And then we'll finish that video off with another workout. So thanks for joining in, and stay tuned for number 3.